with Rhonda Ward, Director of Diversity and Assistant Principal of Muncie Central High School. Ms. Ward, thank you so much for taking the time to come here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, to begin, how much of your life have you spent in Muncie?
All of my life. I am a native of Muncie, born and raised, and went to Muncie Community Schools, product of Muncie Community Schools, went away to college and came back.
You also went to high school here at Northside, right?
Yes, I did.
It's so weird to picture this place as a high school for me. Do you have any favorite memories of going here?
So many favorite memories of going here. As I mentioned, I graduated from here, so I spent all 4 years here. And a lot of my memories stem from being a student athlete. I was a two-time athlete here. I ran cross country and track, and just so many memories that come along with that. Also, just being a typical high school student, being involved in all the choirs, also National Honor Society, of course, like I mentioned, running cross country and track. Just so many memories from all of that.
So after high school, you ended up going to Tennessee State. Can you tell us about your experiences there, especially with Tennessee State being a HBCU?
Absolutely, and I wore my HBCU shirt today. I knew you'd ask that. HBCU stands for Historically Black College and University. Tennessee State is one of those, and I actually went a year after I graduated from here. I was accepted fresh out of high school, but I chickened out. A friend of mine, she and I both ran cross country and track here, and her dad graduated from Tennessee State, and they have a rich history of athletics, particularly track and field. And so I didn't even think about running when I got there because I thought there's no way I could perform at that level. But I chickened out, as I mentioned, the first year, and I stayed here and went to Ball State. But I went down to visit my friend during winter break and stayed in the dorm with her and got a chance to really kind of hang out on campus and meet some people, and I really enjoyed it. She was running cross country at the time, and she introduced me to the cross country coach, and she told him how good I was, and he talked to me and said he could offer me a scholarship if I decided to come there. And so I came back home and told my parents, I think I'm ready, and that's how I ended up at Tennessee State. But it was just a great experience running track down there for an Olympic coach, Ed Temple. And like I said, I was not planning to go there to do that. Not even planning to run cross country, but it just kind of happened like that for me, which was a blessing for me in disguise because I ended up getting a track scholarship as well. So a lot of memories there, meeting a lot of Olympians that had actually run for TSU and the Olympics, that competed in the Olympics. We were coached by the same guy, Ed Temple, and so I got a chance to be around a lot of Olympians at a lot of different times. So it was just a great experience all the way around.
Then to add on to your schooling, you went on to receive a Master's of Art degree in elementary education from Ball State, and later received your principal's license from Indiana Wesleyan. What was your initial plan after high school, and what led you to all the degrees that you ended up receiving?
Good question. My initial plan after high school was I majored in psychology at Tennessee State, and so I always knew I wanted to work with children, particularly younger children, and I thought I was going to be a psychologist, a child psychologist. That's what I thought I was going to be, but those plans changed. I ended up majoring in psychology and got my bachelor's degree in psychology, but then once I came back home, I started working at Claypool Elementary School as an instructional assistant in a second grade classroom. And that school is no longer in existence, by the way. But I started working there and really enjoyed just the teaching aspect. I was working alongside the second grade teacher and just really enjoyed it. And the principal at the time encouraged me to pursue my master's degree in education. And so I thought about it, and I ended up working another year at Claypool in the library as a library assistant. So again, I was around the children, I was reading stories and just loved it. Fell in love with all kinds of books and enjoyed reading to the students and helping them find books. You know how it is when you're in the library at elementary school at that level. But I ended up getting my master's at Ball State in education, and from there is when I did my student teaching and ended up teaching at the elementary level. So my plans just changed because I had no idea that's what I would be doing, but here I am.
So tell us about your career at Muncie Community Schools. I believe you started out as an IA. What has taken place since then to the positions you are in now?
Well, as I mentioned, I was an IA. I ended up teaching for a few years at the elementary level. And then once I pursued my principal licensure program, that opened up doors because I was able to kind of go more into a leadership role. I was the data coach for a couple years at East Washington Academy. And from there is when I got my first administrative position at Wilson Middle School as assistant principal and athletic director. So that was really a neat experience because of my athletic background. I really enjoyed that. And then from there, I ended up becoming an assistant principal at Central High School. And I've been there, this is my 7th year. And really enjoyed the connection with the students. That's my main reason for being in education as a student. It's just my love and passion for helping them reach their fullest potential.
This role of Director of Diversity is brand new to Muncie Community Schools. Can you tell us how it was formed and what it entails?
A few individuals started meeting, I would say a couple of years ago now, and we started talking about ways that we can ensure that Muncie Community Schools is committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so after a while, those conversations got, bigger and greater and deeper. And the individuals the individuals now are known as the District Equity Team, and we call ourselves the DET. And so that group thought it was necessary that we put someone in place to be able to lead some of the initiatives to ensuring that MCS is committed to diversity. So that person was me, and I've been doing it now. Well, I started in June, and so I've really enjoyed being able to connect with teachers all over the district.
Along with being a huge leader in Muncie Community Schools, you are also very active in our Muncie community. You are part of the MLK Dream Team, Muncie Delaware County Black Chamber of Commerce, life member of the NAACP, the list goes on. Why do you find it important to be part of these organizations?
I've always been told that it's important to give back. My parents raised us that way. Even when I went off to college, it was important to try your best to make an impact on people, and being in those organizations has allowed me to do that. Those organizations, we do a lot of things. We give scholarships for students, we help those in need, we feed the hungry. So those organizations are just ways that I can get on board and be able to help and give back and be of service to people in the community.
With all the positions you've held in the community and in the schools, have there been any hurdles that you had to overcome being a woman of color?
Many hurdles. And how I've overcome is just never giving up and just continuing to persevere. Even when times get hard, just continue to believe in myself and persevere. And that's how I made it over those hurdles.
Do you have any advice for the students here at Northside?
Yes. My advice would be to always believe in yourself, follow your dreams, and you will go far. Never give up, because life is hard and there will be many obstacles that you will come in contact with, but you just have to keep on plugging away, and like I said, stay true to yourself, believe in who you are, and just never give up and follow your dreams.
Thank you so much for coming and doing this interview with us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for tuning in and watching this NMS News interview.